pop culture. It's one of those things that covers all genres. And I figured I needed to use my cheesy announcer guy voice there. Anywho, here's a real simple one, a real easy question to come up with, but a question that's easy to answer? Not quite. So the question for today is, who is your favorite pop culture character of all time? Ooh. Now, when it comes to pop culture, I figure I better let you all know where I'm coming from. Most of my pop culture, what I love, comes from weekday afternoon cartoons, it comes from comic books, and it comes from Star Wars. Of course, Indiana Jones is in there too, because Indiana Jones. I've never seen a Predator movie. I've never seen an Alien movie. As far as the aliens, Sigourney Weaver, I've never seen any of those. I've seen many movies with aliens. Independence Day was a fun one. Not really critically acclaimed. Fun movie. Anywho, I'm digressing as per the usual. So, yeah, that's where I'm coming from, is most of what really sank in were comic books, Star Wars, and weekday afternoon cartoons. So I'm pretty much pulling from those sources as far as who my favorite pop culture hero or villain character of all time really is. So now I gotta think about it. Whole lot of pondering going on, but I think I've got my finalists. We've got 8 characters here, ready for your consideration. Well, not really your consideration, my consideration. You have your own list of characters to choose from. So here's what we've got. We've got Indiana Jones. We've got Yoda. We've got Darth Vader. And we've got Han Solo. That's right, Han Solo. Because who doesn't love a smuggler? And on the other side of things, more of the comics and animated side, we have Optimus Prime. We have Batman. We have Superman. And we got old Hangnail himself, which is what my grandpa used to call Wolverine. Wolverine. I think I can narrow some of that down pretty quickly, but there are going to be some tough finalists. So let's do that in this next cut. After this next cut. Yeah, words are hard. Okay, Indy and Han Solo are both kind of similar, cocky, adventurous type characters. You love them, and you love to love them because they're just so much fun to see on the screen. But they're similar characters, and when it comes down to it, probably not going to make my number 1 favorite pop culture character of all time. So they're gone. Next, we've got Darth Vader, who, while awesome, if you had only seen the first 3 movies, ends up, instead of being kind of a reformed villain who becomes almost the ultimate hero at the end of Return of the Jedi, when you watch the prequels and the Clone Wars and Rebels and everything leading up to it, he becomes less awesome and more just sad. No, I don't take it away. I think Darth Vader's a great character, but I don't think sad really nails it for me. Maybe others, your mileage may vary, but yeah, he's out. Yoda. I've always dug kind of the more angry, curmudgeonly kind of characters, and as goofy as Yoda is, especially was in the prequels and Clone Wars and stuff, when he was first introduced, he was goofy, but he also had kind of an old man anger about him a little bit. He was really stubborn, didn't want anything to do with Luke, and just, in Empire Strikes Back, he just seemed very set in his ways, although that was from hundreds of years of training Jedi, so I get it. But I've always liked those characters. Still, when I think about it, as much as I love Yoda, and believe it or not, I have a massive Yoda collection, I don't think he makes it. On to the next group of 4. And in this group of 4, we have 4 characters that are just awesome. Of course, the 4 previous characters were awesome. Here they are. One is Optimus Prime. When I was growing up, and I'm talking specifically G1 Optimus Prime, the Prime that was really tough, a serious leader, but could also have fun with his Autobots, not the guy that turned into dark and ultimate serious guy or anything like that. This was a guy that was goofing around and playing basketball at the same time he was leading the charge against Megatron. There was just something really endearing about that guy, that hero. He was the guy, he was aspirational, everybody could look up to him. He was Prime, he was the man. Yeah, still, as much as I love me some Optimus Prime, I don't think he cuts it. This makes me sad, but I will always love you, Prime, and I should never sing on these videos. So he's out. Now, we've got 3 left. We've got Wolverine, we've got Superman, and we've got Batman. Whew. This is where it got tough when I was thinking about everybody else and then throwing these guys in there. This is where it got tough for me. Okay. Wolverine is just awesome. Any kid that grew up reading Wolverine in like the 80s and the 90s, everybody loves Wolverine. And while I like the Wolverine and the X-Men movies that starred Hugh Jackman, mostly, I didn't think they got the Wolverine character right until Logan. So, that was kind of disheartening. But when you're reading Claremont's Wolverine and when you're reading, just that era, you're like, wow, this character's awesome. And when you know that he's based on Clint Eastwood, you're like, whoa, this character's really hardcore. And still, when I think about it, I'm like, maybe Wolvie doesn't cut it. And I'm thinking he doesn't. Sorry, Wolvie. I've got a huge collection. You're definitely one of my favorite all-time characters, but you're out. And then there were 2. Okay, here it is. We're down to Superman and Batman. And this just got in that quick little stop of recording this clip just after I recorded the last clip. This suddenly got a whole lot easier. My favorite pop culture character of all time is Superman. Now, everybody loves Batman. He's the Dark Knight. There's a zillion action figures of the guy, and I do have one and another on the way. But he's kind of a sad character. He's got a lot of hang-ups. He's kind of complex, no doubt. He's a little bit of a loner. He's angry at times. He's hardcore. He's a tough guy, and he's the ultimate dude with gadgets. I mean, Iron Man, okay, he's got some gadgets too, but when I think, like, what figure has the best toys, I think Batman, no doubt. And I think he's very cool, and I don't want to take anything away from him, but what Superman does that none of these other characters do is he's similar to Captain America, and I haven't brought Captain America up. He's a guy that probably deserved to be on this list, but a little late to add him. He and Supes are kind of the same in this way, though, and that is they're both insanely aspirational. They're both characters that we can all look up to and think to ourselves, wow, I want to be like that dude. Every day I should endeavor to be more like that dude. And so when movies come out with Superman where he seems a little more dark, it just doesn't resonate as well with me just because I always see him as being so aspirational. This is a guy that would do the right thing against what would be his own self-interest. And I know there are heroes that do that, but he's got this immense power that he could do whatever he wanted. And to have that kind of power and still make those decisions all the time, that makes for a very cool character and one that I would think would be much easier to write than apparently a lot of people think he is. But who am I? I'm not a writer. I'm a creator. I'm a photographer. I'm a guy who does voices. But that's it for me. I think number 1 is Superman. Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive, and a Mafex figure that I voted as number 1, so I'm a big fan. So that's it for me. What do you got? Let me know in the comments. Like, dislike the video, share the video. Let people know. Fire off who your pop culture character is, and we'll discuss it. That's it. Everybody have fun. As always, happy snapping. See ya.